everyone. Welcome back, FBA Lifestyle Podcast. Let's just dive right into it. Part 2 of Advanced Amazon FBA Ranking Strategies using Facebook ads and, of course, Amazon ads, known as PPC or Amazon PPC. The one and only David Michelucci, wearegrowthhack.com is his website/agency. He's back again to school us on how to get your Amazon product ranking on that page 1, because that's what it's all about. David, how are we doing?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Awesome. Good. So just a reminder, if you guys didn't catch part 1, link in the description will be a link to part 1 masterclass, and this is part 2. So yeah, excited to get right back into it.
Thank you. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing okay. I hope that you guys liked the first presentation. We introduced a little bit about what is Pixify, how we use it for ranking products, what is relevancy score. That was also very, very important. So we spent a lot of time actually explaining what is relevancy score and why a lot of sellers bypass it and they do a huge mistakes. So yeah, definitely check out the first presentation. This time we're gonna see actually the second part. It's good that we split it into 2 parts. We can actually spend more time in giving details how actually this strategy is supported by Facebook and PPC, and how we have seen before how this strategy actually helps you lower your tacos, your total ACOS, not the Mexican food.
Not your burritos.
And we will show you. Yeah.
And
we'll
David,
see here.
you're making me excited.
Yeah. We'll see here how to actually do that. So yeah, take notes, pay attention. We're gonna dive in right now.
Awesome.
All right. So I'm just gonna quickly say one more time about me. You guys know that that's gonna be again in the presentation before. I've been doing digital marketing for a long time, Amazon since 2014, and I have my own Amazon consulting agency, so a digital marketing agency that helps Amazon sellers. We are Amazon advertising partners, and we help a lot of sellers. We have a bunch of partners, and we constantly do webinars. We try to bring the best value. So also this presentation has been updated. Right, some screenshot, how you can see the growth of some of my clients, etc. Don't want to spend too much time in here. So what we're gonna talk about today, this is the second part of the ranking strategy. So we're gonna continue the step-by-step ranking strategy with external traffic. So we're gonna show how to integrate PPC and Facebook ads to the Pixify strategy. And I'm going to show you some free creative tools that will help you, that will help actually creating your Facebook ads. Because you know the best way to create Facebook ads is with carousel or video slides or even videos. I will show you some add-ons, and we will talk about Facebook retargeting. That's really important for having good conversion rates, because as you know, retargeting is one of the best ways. And people say you can't do retargeting on Amazon. You actually can. There are different ways of doing that. I will show you later. It's not a very exact retargeting, but it's enough for what we're looking for. Then I'm gonna jump actually into who's taking notes on.
Are you scribbling on the screen?
Yeah, you're writing on the screen. Don't draw something bad, okay? So we're going to talk about PPC later, why your PPC fails, some of the most common mistakes, and how to solve them. And we're going to slide into PPC strategy and tips. And then, of course, I'm going to share again the goodies, the discounts that you have on those tools that we're using, such as Pixify and Zone Guru, that really help you for ranking. And then we're going to have some context Q&A if you have. I'm going to try to keep this short. And if you have some questions, just ask them later at the end of the presentation, okay? Because I really want to go quick.
Awesome.
Thank you. So,
hey, hold on. Tino, are you able to erase that?
Oh yeah,
green mark.
Just say that.
Green scribble. Tino, do you see any like?
How can you even scribble on the screen? I didn't know.
I'm gonna pause the recording for a second. Okay, good to go.
All right. Yeah, so in the first presentation, we actually saw how you create, we actually went through all the steps that you need to create this actual ranking strategy. And we see, just to give you a quick recap, the first step is to create your promotion on Amazon. The second step would be to create and select your keywords. We see how there are different ways of selecting your keywords. The step number 3 would be to create your tracking links using Pixify or different super URL generators. And then now let's jump into the number 4. There is create your actual Facebook ads. All right. Good. Sorry, guys. I'm having some problem with my screen. It's okay. Oh, yeah. All right, got it now. Good. So what you want to do for Facebook is actually a traffic campaign. It's the easiest way actually to make a campaign. It's not hard. It's completely easy. Why you want to do a traffic campaign? Because what you want to do is to simply drive traffic to the landing page that will be created with Pixify, or to the search result page on Amazon that you still create with Pixify. So you don't need to do anything too complicated in this part of your Facebook ad creation. It's just traffic. You're just looking for clicks, because you will not be able pretty much to track them from Amazon, because they would be actually coming not from Facebook but from Pixify. So the landing page actually is the Pixify URL generated from the URL generated from Pixify. So it's not an Amazon page, it's not a Facebook page, it's a Pixify page, it's an intermediate page. And then from that page, they will click directly to Amazon. So Amazon doesn't see it coming from Facebook. This is something that some people actually confuse sometimes. Amazon doesn't see it coming from Facebook, it will see it coming from Pixify or from somewhere else. Remember, you have to create one campaign for each product. So if you're trying to rank for this iPhone cover, you will create one campaign for that particular product. And then it's up to you if you want to create different campaigns for different variations of that product. It really depends on many things. For example, how much sales you're doing, if it's justified by the sales that you're doing, because you want to spend at least $10 daily on this campaign in order to have a sufficient number of clicks. Because if you do very well your targeting and you bring down your CPC, you will have something like 20 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. That's something normal on Facebook right now for these traffic campaigns. So you want to spend at least $10, sometimes even $20 per product. This also goes together with how much you're spending on PPC, because at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to increase Facebook, if you remember from the last presentation, and decrease slowly your PPC spend. So keep this in mind. If your question is how much should I spend, it completely depends. I suggest start with at least $10 a day. You want to drive a lot of traffic to that search result page. So one campaign for one group, and remember, one group in that campaign for each target audience. I always suggest you would try different target audience. You make up your audiences. I will show you later how to make audiences that would actually save money, will have a lower CPC, and will actually have a higher chance to increase your conversion rates. So here, for example, we do some micro-targeting. We really split our audiences. You want to divide as much as possible because you want to be able to manage everything. So you will have one campaign for each product. Inside that campaign, you will have one group, one ad group on Facebook for each audience that you will select. And inside each group, you will have the same ads. So one ad for each keyword. This is very, very important to understand. It might seem a little bit complicated, but it's not. You have to see Facebook exactly as PPC here. And this is the reason why it's going to be very easy to duplicate these and to support this campaign on Facebook, on PPC as well. Because you're going to target the same keyword, exactly the same keyword, and then on PPC you will target it in exact match or phrase maybe, but exact is preferred. So as you can see here, we have selected already our 10 keywords for our running clip, and here we have our 10 keywords. And then depending on the performance, you can decide to switch them on or off. This is actually already the answer to the question that was asked the last time, or that many people ask, why don't you use the URL rotator? Why do you do so many URLs? Because you want to have full control for each keyword. You want to switch it off if necessary. Okay, you don't want to just remove it from the super URL. You want to see the actual performance. So if I have here an average CPC of 20 cents for the others, and then this is $1 or 70 cents. Of course, I switched it off because it gives me less clicks. You would create your ads here. This is how you create your ads, and it's very important that you pay attention to the copy. The copy, I see that converts more, gets you lower CPC, and gets more interaction when it's engaging, when people actually have to click on the read more. They spend a lot of time reading the products. And actually, what can you write on the product? Of course, you should write some catchy sentences. You should involve with the customers, with the potential customers, and you can also pretty much copy and paste the content of your bullet points. You can recreate bullet points. You can use different emojis, etc. So what is the best way to target Facebook audiences? In this strategy, we use different ways, but the two ways that work most are lookalike audiences and using micro-targeting. Actually, they support each other. The lookalike, the lookalike audience I thought I showed here, but I'm trying to compress a lot of information together. So the lookalike audience, I will show you later how to retarget, how to make a custom audience, but it's quite easy. There are different ways to see on Facebook how to do a lookalike audience, so you can just look it up. It's a very easy process. Once you have done it one time, you will be able to do it many other times. Micro-targeting. What is micro-targeting on Facebook? Actually, micro-targeting works very well, and this is something that I will tell you later also for PPC, not only on Facebook, but as well on PPC. Micro-targeting, we have to understand why we're talking about micro-targeting right now, because we have so many different competitors, so many different brands, that you should always try to focus on your particular niche. You should always try to break down the needs and the searches and the search habits of your customers, what they're looking for, exactly what kind of audience they are, what kind of needs and likes they have. So you should break down as much as you can your audiences. And for example, as you see here, in this kind of audiences, for example, we separate already male and female. We never do both sex in the same targeting. You should also separate by age. You should also separate by what kind of iPhone they have. For example, if it's an iPhone 10 or 11, or if they own an iPhone or a Samsung or something, because actually Facebook gives you a very different way of targeting customers from Amazon, and you shouldn't just be scared of this. You should actually take this at your advantage. So do duplicate, this kind of keyword targeting in two different channels. One is Facebook, one is PPC, and it's actually the best way to differentiate your branding and your advertising. So let's see how we can create creative ads on Facebook. We saw before carousel and video slides. I'm just gonna quickly again show you how to do those on Facebook. I'm giving for granted here that you already have done some Facebook ads before, so it's not gonna be super basic. This is actually a free tool that I always suggest to use. If you didn't know about that, it's called canva.com. I use it quite often for making my carousel ads. This is exactly one example of carousel ads, because on Facebook, remember, you have on the carousel ads this square space where you can actually use only 20% or less of the space available to write something. And it would be actually good that you use this space for writing a catchy phrase or something. What I do normally, I do at least 5 or 6 images if it's only one product or one variation, and I actually write a short version of the bullet points. Remember, when you do the listing, when you create your listing, you need to have 5 bullet points. They need to be 5 unique selling propositions. So those 5 unique, you need to keep reminding your customer what they are about and why your product is so good. So always make the best use of those unique selling propositions. And if you have more, that's completely fine. You can put it on the ad description, or you can do more carousel ad images. If you have different variations, and you want to target them in the same ad, go on, you can do that. And you can also link to different landing pages with Pixelfy. But remember, you're always targeting the same keyword in the same ad group, in the same ad. All right, another way, very efficient way to do ads with Facebook is to create video slides. Why video slides? Because if you don't have a video, if you don't know how to create video, or you didn't want to make a professional video, you can always use your images to create a video slides. And it's so easy and it's very catchy. And most of the times, actually, video slide ads on Facebook have got even a lower CPC than just carousels. Why? Because they are more engaging, they are something newer than just carousels, so it's easier for a targeted audience to click on the video slides and to actually look, spend more time on the video itself. So you go on creating the ads, you select a single image or video, and then you go ahead, you just select your slideshow style. I normally try to select slideshows that is at least 10 seconds or 15 seconds, so you have more space, you have more time to play around and to actually show the benefits. And what we do is exactly the same thing here. We create this is the creator of the video slide. If you've never seen it before, it's so easy. You can upload your images, you can put your logo, and you can put also your headline. Your headline can be a description, can be a benefit, can be, again, the unique selling value of the product, or it can be also call to action. I normally put the call to action in the last slide, of course. This is an example of the ad that we did for some customer. Actually, this is a very bad example. We just throw some images there. So this is not an example. This is just how you should do it. So yeah, the call to action is going to be the last one. So you have introduction here to the product, then you have selling proposition number 1, selling point number 2, number 3, number 4. It's like it's healthy, it's good for anyone, it's so easy, blah blah blah. And then here, call to action: get it now, don't miss this opportunity, get your discount, whatever. Add emojis. I've seen that actually adding emojis, probably you have heard this everywhere else before, actually does increase your engagement on Facebook. The number of seconds of the videos being watched, conversion rate, etc. How you can put emojis on your advertising is so easy. You just need to go on creating a post on your Facebook. You just type the emojis here, and then you copy and paste them on the ad creator, and this is what you actually will have.
David, quick question.
Actually like yeah.
When it comes to the number of emojis, is there like a rule or anything, or it depends on the demography you're targeting, the product you're advertising, and so on and so forth? Or is it like because I heard people say that it's good to put, but if you put too many, people will not take you seriously. So what are your thoughts on that?
Of course, you're not gonna use this, but you will. Yeah. look at what I did here, for example. For each selling point, I use 1 emoji. Okay. The relieve inflammation. It's 100% natural. You know, try to be cool with what you're doing. So 1 is okay, and then here I like this. Hand emoji, like get your discount here, because they actually have to click here. I have seen a lot of ads, and this is what I actually think that works better, works best. But for example, you can also use, we do, and this is like a little hack, we use the star to recreate the idea of Amazon star rating, and we use 5 of them, and we do 5 bullet points. So you have 5 bullet points with 5 stars, 1 each. This is, if you know the basic of marketings that are always valid in traditional marketing, offline marketing, and digital marketing, it's always the same thing. It's association to the mind of the user. You see the star here, you will see it on Amazon, bam. It's a constant guiding through this process of purchase. So I think this pretty much answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
So, okay, the next step, oh my God, I'm having problems with, damn. The next step, I think my keyboard doesn't work. No, shit, this is too bad. The next step would be to create your PPC twin campaign. It's I call it rank push or push rank campaign. It's going to be super easy. Oh my God. All right, guys, I don't know what's the problem here. You guys still see my screen, right? Okay, now it's working. So it's going to be super easy to create this rank push campaign. You just put the name of your product, you call it rank push, you give it at least $20 of budget, because you want to spend the same amount on Facebook and on PPC. And remember, this is an extra campaign. You already have your campaigns on PPC. So at the initial moment, you will spend more. okay, both on Facebook and on PPC. But later what you have to do is you have to cut the fat. You want to trim out everything that you don't need on PPC, because you know that a lot of sales are going to come from this, and you want to make it even leaner, and you want to remove the waste, and you want to slowly cut down your PPC, and you want to use this more. So this campaign is going to be super easy. You take exactly the same 10, 20, whatever keywords you are pushing with your Pixify, with your ranking strategy on Facebook, and you put them on PPC as well in a new campaign with at least $20 of budget per day. Then it depends on you how much you want to put on budget, and then you just target them exact. If you want to do a little extra, you can also target phrase, but I suggest to start with exact, because you really want to push Amazon to associate their product as much as you can. And it's not written here, but you should also target higher placement on the top of search, of course. This is the final step, how to do retargeting with add to cart, with Pixify and Facebook. So listen to this. Select on Pixify the add to cart landing page, because you also have the option with Pixify to use an add to cart. So why did we come up with this add to cart? Because we were realizing we were actually driving a lot of traffic to this landing page with the search result of the product. And of course, a big part of the customers doesn't buy the product. That's part of the game, because you have a conversion rate, what is it, like 1%, 5%, whatever it is. So you want to try to retarget them, and you want to try to retarget in a good way. And as you know, add to cart, actually, how many add to cart is still a very important metric on Amazon for when it comes to relevancy and ranking for products. So Amazon still counts also the add to carts. So what you want to do is you want to try to use those people who actually didn't buy the product, and you want to give them an add to cart. Now, why you need to do add to cart with retargeting? It does make sense, but just to recap it, I don't like personally to see an ad that lands on an add to cart page the first time that I see a product. I would be most likely to accept that ad as a user if I already clicked on the same product before with an ad that was not an add to cart. That makes a lot of sense, in my personal opinion, because I was really against using add to cart landing pages before. I never done it, but now with this strategy, I think it does make sense, because you would target only the people who have actually interacted already with your carousel ad or video ad and have actually done an action on Facebook or not. So we can see here how we can do that. Remember, you're looking for add to carts here. So you compose your landing page here on the Pixify. It's super easy, step by step. Just go. You put exactly the same instructions, because you still want to give the discount. And then Pixify will tell you how to do the add to cart. You need to put the A's, and it's going to be super straightforward. This is the actual landing page, the first landing page of the Pixify that the user will see. If you remember, the first landing page of the Pixify was quite easy. It's pretty much the same. But here, instead of buy on Amazon, it's written add to cart. So the reason why I like Pixify is because they're not they're not trying to trick the customer. The customer who will click here already knows that it's an add to cart. It's not the purchase or look at the product and then they will have the item already in their cart. It's clearly written here, add to cart. So when you click here, then you will be redirected to this page where, of course, Amazon will ask you, are you sure you want to add to your cart this product? So this is completely okay. We're not tricking anyone here. We're not doing with one click and then they have a lot of products in their cart. It's not going to happen. So it's all guided through. And the actual thing that I like is that on Facebook, you can actually say that you're going to add something to your cart. But the interesting thing is that you will target only the people who have already interacted with your video or with your carousel, with your advertising before. So they have seen already your product. And if they want to add it to the cart, they will just click on the advertising.
Got it.
Yeah, here's the example. How do you make a retargeting on Facebook without having a pixel? It's super easy because you can't use the pixel for Amazon. You could use a pixel from your website, from Facebook as well, but it's super easy. You don't even need a pixel on Facebook to retarget people who have seen your ads. It's simple. When you create your audience, you create a custom audience. Not a lookalike this time, just a custom audience. And you want to select people who already have interacted with that particular video. Okay, and you can actually choose which video. So here, for example, I want to target people who have interacted with this video for this particular product. I just choose those videos because we had, look at this, we had 8,000 views. So I'm targeting here people who watch at least 25% of that video. I can also put 50% or whatever. So I'm cutting away all the people who watch the first 1 or 2 seconds and they just remove it. So they will not see this add to cart advertising, okay? If you want to be more strict, you can do 50%. So you know that you will have more engagement here. I select the video. We had 8,000 here, for example, but you can do more. You will also have, you can select videos with a lot of clicks, and you will see actually that it works if you have done enough advertising before. Because if you spend $20 a day for each product, you just need to do it for 1 month. You would have spent a lot of money. I mean, not a lot of money, like 200, 400, 500. It really depends on your budget. And then you will have a lot of people who could potentially interact with your advertising. You select the videos you want to target. There's a little bit more details, and then Facebook will help you create this retargeting custom audience. So this is how to do retargeting with add to cart. The most important thing is you understand this. I think this is the most important thing, the division, because at first you're going to start with this. Remember, 1 campaign for each product, inside each campaign, 1 ad group for each target audience, and inside each group, 1 ad for each keyword. Okay, this is the basic why this strategy actually works. Then if you later on want to do retargeting add to cart, feel free to do that. Do it. All right. This is the end of the thank you, of the ranking strategy by itself, with the add to cart and with everything. This is what we use for the client. It actually works. I wanted to put some common questions that sellers have, or common mistakes that sellers do and they don't realize. The first mistake that we have seen is actually not even knowing what is relevancy score. We talked about that a lot on the previous presentation. Something that I can suggest you again is always check your indexation, because sometimes you're not even indexed for that keyword, especially right now that it's getting more and more complicated, more and more competitive, and you don't know that. You just waste your time on. And this waste of time on PPC remains a waste of time, waste of impressions. You will not be charged because Amazon will not associate if you're not even indexed for that keyword. But on Facebook, if you're trying to target something on Facebook because it's not talking with Amazon, you will waste your money. So some reasons why your PPC might fail. Maybe you have a bad organization. If you're a new seller, if you've never done PPC before, I see a lot of sellers with bad organization. Maybe you don't know that you should use a clear purpose for each one of your campaigns. You don't just have to throw products there, just throw a bunch of keywords. It's not going to work like this. It could actually work at the beginning, but in the long term, it will waste you a lot of money and it will waste you a lot of potential. You don't understand bidding correctly. You don't understand placements, top of search, product page, etc. You don't understand keyword match. You don't read properly your PPC report. I know a lot of sellers who don't even download their PPC report. This is very, very important. You constantly, every week, every month, download your PPC report. This is super, super important. Also because you can find actually some hidden gems inside your PPC report. I think I talked about that in a presentation at Global from Asia, Lorenzo. Maybe you were there, how we use the terms that are not converting to actually make more sales. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we actually brought a case study of this client that we were looking for the non-converting terms in their PPC. And we have isolated them and we put them into new campaigns, and actually we had an increase in 20%. So it's waste that sellers are not looking at, and they're just losing money because they're not using it. So that's also something really good, and you will find it only on your PPC reports. Or maybe you're not using all features. And of course, you don't understand relevancy score. That's why PPC fails. Now, some little tips that I'm throwing here just to help sellers. And then if you guys have more questions, you can just ask me at any time. Also because we're almost running out of time, but we just go on. So organization, just few tips. divide into portfolios. That's very important, especially if you have a lot of products or if you're planning to have a lot of products. And even if you don't, still, it's really good because you can actually control your budget with portfolios, and you can have a quick glance of the performance of each different product. Just divide them by portfolio. So you will have a glance on the campaign manager. It's a very quick glance that you will have. It's like, imagine your campaign manager, the stats that you see would be divided into portfolios, and that really happens. So it's really good if you divide into portfolios. You have to give the right name, the correct name to each campaign. So if it's automatic or if it's manual, what kind of product it is it the product targeting, is it keyword targeting? Are you trying to do profit, or are you trying to do exploring new keywords, or are you trying to do what kind of purpose for that campaign? And we will see later how many different purposes you can have for different campaigns on PPC. It would be very important for you to write down your target ACOS. And I know this might sound stupid or why, but it actually helps you, psychologically to know what your target ACOS for that particular product. And it really helps. This is a screenshot taken from a client who had a lot of products, and for each product we had the limit ACOS that we had to reach, and that really helped us to keep us motivated and to keep us, with the right mindset for that particular product. And yeah, do one campaign for one product. Don't mix different products in the same campaign. You could probably start doing many products in the same campaign, but in the long term, you want to divide as much as you want, as much as you can. You want to do micro-targeting, and we'll see later also how to apply micro-targeting to PPC. So this is also another example of organization. You're doing discovery, you're doing profitability, whatever. I personally don't use profitability and discovery a lot. This was another project that we did with another seller, but in the first phase of your approach to PPC, it might really help you to distinguish between discovery and profitability campaigns. These are some of the purposes that I personally use, or that I know that most of the sellers use for PPC, and you should have it clear in your mind why you're using this campaign. So for each campaign, you should use maybe one or maybe two or three of those purposes, but it would be the best if you make one campaign for each different purpose. So you could have a PPC campaign for doing product launch, so you would go very aggressive. You want to generate profits, so you want to cut down your ACOS. You don't want to waste any budget. You probably go for exact targeting here. You want to do keyword research, so you would use a lot of broad and phrase keyword targeting, or you probably go for automatic or whatever. And if you go for automatic, you have to do also a lot of negative targeting then. You want to do branding, so you would use keywords that are more related to your brand or even your brand name, or you probably try to target your competitors. You want to do ranking. So ranking, of course, we talked about that before. Same keywords that you want to rank for. You want to steal market share, so you want to target products, so you want to target your competitor's name, etc. You want to clear your stock, so you just don't care about your ACOS. You just throw there what you have and go ahead with that, etc. So understand that each different campaign is for different purpose. This is, now, once again, if you see here, I'm not giving you very technical advices, but I'm giving you advices that will save you a lot of money and that will help you understand what you should do as a seller. This, by the way, is most of the time the way that I personally teach others how to do this kind of business. I don't like to get really so much into details. I mean, for Facebook, you have to show how to make the campaign, but normally I'm more into this kind of stuff. Micro-targeting. So it's very important that you understand, when it comes to micro-targeting, the customer journey of the buyers in Amazon. So what are they looking for? Let's say, for example, that you're selling okay, let's stick with that example. So follow me here. The shoppers who are not sure about what they're looking for, okay, they will use broad search term, for example, USB microphone, okay? So this is the customer journey. When they're not sure about what they're looking for, they're just shopping around, they would just use a broad term like USB microphone. But then when they already have done the product research and they know what they're looking for, they will probably search for something more detailed, like a long tail keyword. For example, portable USB microphone for podcasts, because you want to do a podcast, you're a frequent traveler, and you need a portable USB microphone for podcasts. So this is exactly what they're looking for. So it's up to you as a seller and to understand where you are with your product and with your brand, if you want to target the first person or the second person or both of them. And you have to understand that the two different targetings will have different performance and different costs for you. So you really have to understand what kind of targeting. You can't put USB microphone, and especially if it's broad, together with portable USB microphone for podcasts in the same campaign. I mean, you could do that probably, but it's going to mess things around. So what I suggest, you use micro targeting, that is actually using one keyword for one campaign or one keyword for one group in different campaigns. When you have figured out how your customers are looking for your products, what are the keywords that actually bring you the most sales for that particular product. So you have to figure out in your mind, what is your product, how customers are looking for that. Is it good for podcasts or not? Is it portable or not? I mean, you know that thing because you're selling that product, right? So today you should cut the waste on PPC. You should be as specific as possible. You should do micro-targeting when you can. How you do that? You should use search terms that are as close as possible to the use and to the feature of your product. That's really, really important. So portable, it's black, it's gray, it's made with plastic, whatever. It's for podcasts, okay? You have to match your products and targeting exactly with what the users are looking for. Of course, use long-tail keywords, and then do your research. Start from broad, then go to phrase, and then go to exact. So this is also old school, but this is still the way to do PPC with keyword targeting. Some strategy here, one keyword for one campaign. I'm not the first one to come up with this strategy, but I'm a big supporter. Do one campaign with one keyword only and one product. This is exactly micro-targeting. And this is the ultimate way of targeting, of advertising on Amazon. You create one campaign, you put only one product and one keyword exact. And if your product is good, and if you have a lot of sales history, and if you have good relevancy, you can also spend $100 a day, and you can make a lot of sales, and you will be sure that your ACOS will be very, very low if you select the right keyword, even though it's not a branded keyword. Or this is an example. You see here, these are campaigns. These are not keyword inside the group. These are campaigns. We are naming the campaign with the name of the keyword here, actually. Okay, so these are exact keywords. The ACOS is lower than our average. Yes, for each one of them. That, by the way, was not too bad when we took this screenshot for those products. And you can see here we had a lot of sales. So you can actually apply this. Of course, not when you start. Of course, we know that. Okay, you need to have sales history. You need to have already history in your account. But this is the ultimate place where you want to end to really do micro-targeting with your PPC. Yeah, remember to add negative search terms and now also products on your automatic campaign. That's really, really important. Download your PPC search term report. This is another tip, by the way. Download your PPC search term report. Really, really important. On your PPC search term report, you can find keywords that are really, really good for you. It can give you a lot of sales. Keywords that you haven't been using enough, and these are the non-converting terms. So terms that get a lot of impression. Sorry, they don't get a lot of impression, but they get a lot of clicks. They have a very high click-through rate, and they didn't give you any sales. So what you want to do is you want to put them, and you want to try to see if they actually work as a new converting terms. And then, of course, negative terms. So it's really, really important that you download your PPC search term report on a regular basis. Negative targeting, yes, you can do also products now. Product targeting campaign, just quickly, where you can find product targeting. Just target the same products that are targeting you in your listing page, related products, frequently bought together, etc., etc. Yeah, here, sponsor product related to this item. This is where you can find them. So down on your listing on Amazon. Yeah, how to create it, super easy. Instead of keywords, just click on product targeting. And here, this is the most important slides for when it comes to product targeting. What kind of purpose you should look for, you should give to your campaigns for product targeting. We have a few different purposes here. You can defend your own products. So if you're selling multiple iPhone cases, you would target this particular iPhone case with all the other variations or all the other similar iPhone case in your brand. So you're defending your own real estate in your listing. You can differentiate. For example, you're selling iPhone case and you're also selling cables, then you target to this product all of your cables. So you differentiate in your product selection with the same brand, of course. You can attack competitors with lower reviews, or you can attack competitors with higher price, with lower features, but same price, etc., etc. You can do top of search targeting with products. It actually happens and it works sometimes. You can do category targeting. Then for category targeting, there's a lot of ways you can get creative. I'm not going to share it here because that's really a hack, but I have some more, A's about category targeting, and it really works, and more and more and more. Tip number 5, and I think this is the last one maybe. This is really important. Awesome. Know your numbers, okay? Know where you are right now as a seller. This is nothing absolute, okay? Probably many other gurus or sellers or speakers, they don't agree with me, but that's what I personally think, and that's what I've seen in my experience. So if your PPC sales are less than 20% of your total sales, you're wasting a potential, or you're doing a great job, okay? But if you're just starting, you're wasting a potential. Okay, so if you're selling less than 20% from PPC, you're definitely wasting a potential if you just started selling on Amazon, because you need PPC, you need advertising at the beginning. Unless, once again, you're selling already millions, then I'm shutting up and you're good, you're doing really great, you don't need PPC. You're 1 out of a million probably. If your PPC sales is less than 45% in your total sales, you're probably at a very healthy level, okay? You've probably been selling already for quite a while, or you're starting to sell, but you're good. You don't need PPC too much. If your PPC sales are more than 50% than your total sales, you are at a very high promotional level. It's not going to be sustainable for your total ACOS in the long term, but you probably need that at some point, okay? If it's more than 70%, it's either a new product launch for that particular product, or you're just a new seller and you need a PPC push, or it's a very bad performing product, or your entire store is performing really bad. So you can apply this both to a product or to your entire store. Okay, so this is my particular view. So don't depend too much on PPC. Don't misuse it. Don't waste your potential on PPC. Try to start depending a lot on that, and then cutting it down, but still keep using it until you find your own balance that is something less than 45% on a healthy level. The last thing, when it comes to knowing your numbers, I give you this as an example of how we do weekly reports for our clients, and this really, really, really helps us save a lot of time and it doesn't really save time, but it does give us a better, clear look of the performance, what's happening, and actually helps us improve the performance. So for each week, we have how many impressions, clicks, click-through rate, CPC, how much we spend on PPC, how much are the total sales, how much are the PPC sales, our ACOS, our gross sales, our PPC own sales, the percentage of sales coming from PPC to the total sales for each particular product. These are all products, different products, and then total ACOS, the famous tacos. So this is really important that you see what journey your products are going through. Did you start spending a lot of money on PPC? Did you depend a lot on the PPC sales for your total sales? How is your total ACOS going, etc.? You can also add here how much you spend on Facebook. That's actually what we do. So this is some hint on you for the long term, if you didn't start selling on Amazon right now, or if you're planning to start, if you just started, to actually tell you what you should be looking at. Look at your impressions, your click, how much you're spending on ads, how much you're selling in total. Are you really depending on ads? How much you're depending on ads? Where you're putting your money? So do this report every week, and you will see that you will have a better, clear vision of your entire business. Yes, so we are done. And yeah, once again, my contacts, my YouTube link, how to get my discount on Pixify, Zone Guru, and still I repeat the same discount for people coming from 90-day FBA community.
Awesome. Woo! That was money.
Great stuff, David, as
usual.
That. Thank you.
That was great. Can you go back to the previous slide with the Pixify discounts and all of that?
Yes.
I'll take a picture of that and share that right away. Screenshot. Okay. Boom. Awesome. 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 That was I was taking notes that whole time. That was amazing. Excited to implement all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, buddy. Sweet. Any questions, guys? Payment?
Yeah,
Who
David,
else is still on here? Tino? Go
I think
ahead.
you covered it, but also would like to get your thoughts on that. Some people say that when you when you do a Facebook ad, you should go as specific as possible, but others say just go one criteria, one factor at a time. So what would be, let's say, what would be your take on that? Let's say you're driving traffic to your own product. What would you do? Would you try to go as deep as possible, or just one factor, one criteria, one targeting per ad per campaign?
Wait, aren't you saying the same thing? I don't understand. So, as deep as possible, are you saying that you will divide your audience or not? Because that's the same thing as giving just one criteria, right?
Let's say, for example, you're trying to, I don't know, to sell, let's say, garlic press, okay? And you're just trying to
Yeah,
target, for
yeah,
example,
got it,
say,
Chris.
and one ad you try to target, say, men and 45 to 50 will love cooking, will love such and such, say, Facebook page, and such celebrity, say, what's his name, is famous chef, the British guy, Gordon, whatever. Um,
Uh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Gordon
anyway, you know what I mean.
Ramsay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be one ad. You go as specific as possible to targeting, and on the other ad you would go, let's say, just people that love cooking, for example. Because I've seen both arguments made by
Mm.
people who are doing really well on Facebook. So I want to know, what is your take on that?
So what they were saying. So who won at the end? I want to know who won. There was a
That's what I'm
winner
trying
in
to
this
see,
dispute.
because I mean they all make money. It's just that, they. I just want to know what
So
is
they
the
were talking in
smartest way.
different places, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
Different courses, because I've taken a few Facebook ad
Uh,
courses. So one guy
okay.
would say, hey, try to be as specific as possible. The other say, hey, just take one targeting at a time. So just want to know, what is your take on that?
Well, so before, as I said, we do micro targeting here. Okay, so I think that the best way is to combine them. What you do, I think, is the best way would be actually you start with micro targeting. So you target only men 20 to 30 who like Gordon Ramsay, and then you target men 30 to 40 who like Gordon Ramsay, and then you target men 20 to 30 who like another thing like cooking, whatever. You go as specific as possible, replicate
Okay.
everything, but what you have to do is you have to use the same ad with the same copy, with the same landing page, with the same image for many different audiences. So you actually test the same ad for so many different audiences that are similar to each other, but they are slightly different because this is micro targeting. So I would say the best way, in my opinion, is you start with that, and then you create a lookalike audience. Or you target all the people who have interacted with that ads, because in between all of them, you put together all of those people, and then you will have your main audience. So, looking at the experience that I have, this is the way that I do it. I start with micro targeting, and then I put them all together into a new audience that has already interacted, and that would be my main new audience. But you can start with what you want. To be honest with you, it depends what I have to do, how much time I have, how much the client is paying me. So it really depends on this kind of things.
Okay. And if you were to drive traffic for your own product, for your own campaign, not a client, but your own, which way would you go?
Yeah, of course I would just divide as much as I can, because for example for the runners, what we did for the runners, the image that I showed you is just a part of it. So let's say I'm trying to promote you guys. You remember the first presentation I showed you this keyboard tray, right? Or okay, let's say this is even better example. A TV mount, okay? So you're trying to advertise a TV mount. So it's something that you put on your wall and then you mount the TV, right? We were trying to figure out the best audience for that, and we were trying to target our competitor's name, but that didn't work. So what I figure out, you know how I get this idea, that that's really a hack that I'm sharing with you guys. It's really something useful. And I didn't share with so many. I think I shared at the Global from Asia, but I'm not sure now. Anyway, this is really important. I went to my PPC report and I tried to see what are the highest conversion rate keywords. And actually what it was the TV brands. So people were specifically looking for a TV mount for Samsung TV or for LG TV. So I said, okay, I can actually duplicate these on my Facebook ads. And I was targeting men to particular age or women to particular age. I was never mixing men to women who like only that brand. It was one targeting on Facebook. So I remember I had so many different targetings, so many different Facebook audiences for men and for women, for those who like Toshiba, LG, Samsung, whatever. So many audiences, but the CPC, man, was so low. They have never seen a PPC this low on Facebook, because you target people who like that specific brand, so you think that they own that TV. On Facebook, you cannot target people who own that TV. Probably you can target people who own a smart TV, but I'm not sure about if you can do it with the brand yet. Probably you can do it in the future, because now you can target people who can access with you can divide by mobile access. Like you can target people who have iPhone 11, iPhone 10, iPhone 6, whatever. But for TV, I don't think it's possible yet. But anyway, you can target people who like that brand. So that was really the best way that we ever tried with that particular account to get new customers. So that was like 100% good. And then what you want to do, you want to retarget them, creating a new audience. And you can even create a lookalike audience with those people. So this is how I personally integrate Facebook with PPC. And I think that when it comes to a seller, you should get creative with those things. You should understand that they don't exclude each other, actually can combine them. And for sure, there are so many other ways of combining different things, different channels like Google and other social media, etc.
Awesome. Sweet. I do have another call coming up in 13 minutes. So I guess we have time for maybe one or two more questions, that was freaking awesome. Is there do you have another webinar? Do you have a part 3, or what's the next
no.
sequence? Or is it
not yet? But
okay,
I don't know. Maybe we can catch up in a few months from now. It depends. If you have some requests from your audience, then we can make it happen. If they have some particular questions for me, then maybe next month or maybe the coming one.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Put this out there. Anyone that's still listening, tag a friend and put your questions in the comments and all that, and then we'll get them back if there's demand and if you guys want to learn some more advanced stuff.
One more question, David, before you go. Do you see any changes in the Facebook algorithm in the next few months or whatever? Do you have any, insight info on that, or anything that we should be prepared for that?
The most changes in algorithm that I see have been on Amazon. It's been crazy. Before Prime Day, they changed a lot. All of our rankings, they went crazy. And many of my partners and clients, they had problems ranking crazy and CPC crazy. But it always happens on Amazon, so you just need to be very careful. You need to check your PPC every day, etc. For Facebook, not really, because we started some new projects, so I can't really say right now. So I don't know for Facebook.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Cool. Well, anyway, man, that was awesome. Links in the description, guys, to check it out. WeAreGrowthHack.com. It says agency, grow your Amazon sales, and implement this stuff, guys. This is the latest and greatest. If you want to boost your ranking on Amazon, this is how you do it. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks again, David. And we'll be in touch and hopefully see you again another time.
See you for sure.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Appreciate it, man.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the FBA Lifestyle Podcast. Don't forget to follow on all podcast platforms, YouTube, and Instagram. Ready to fast-track your first or next FBA product? Ready to create a real product that leaves the competition in the dust? Then check out the 90-Day FBA Challenge, a 12-week accelerator program with weekly coaching calls where we help you go from zero idea what to sell to a product live on Amazon within 90 days. And download the free Amazon Secrets ebook, FBA Lifestyle, the Amazon Experts. Start your FBA business. Achieve the freedom lifestyle.